Yo, what's happening, people? What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is your latest Rivals talk on a Friday. You know the score, people, man. We're talking all things Premier League. And you know what, man? The Premier League is only 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away today. Man City kick off the season against Burnley at Turf Moor. We got man like Charlie in the building. Charlie, mate, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Thanks for having me as always. Yeah, mate, we're unbeaten in pre-season. Life's good under Poch, but as I say, mate, like 2 weeks to the season starts, and my one big concern is that we've bought one player in for the first team, and it's almost August now. Just Nicholas Jackson, who's done very well, but the Caicedo thing's mad. Like, are we going to pay the money, or are we going to move? We're going to hijack Lavia. We need to get a move on basically on this because like the number one priority was to find a partner for Enzo Fernandez, and we still don't have that. And whoever that's going to be that comes in is going to have no pre-season with the club. So yeah, we need to get a move on. But apart from that, yeah, doing good, mate.
Yeah, man. Big up team, man. Schulz, what are you saying, bro?
Quite the opposite, actually. We're quite happy with the business we're doing. We've pretty much done what we've needed. So, yeah, quite happy. Everything's looking up. How's everyone? Thank you for coming on, obviously, as always. Hope everyone's good.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. We got Huey in the building. Huey, what are you telling me, man?
Yeah, man. Life's good. Thanks very much for having me on. Pre-season well and truly underway. Just back from Manchester. I was there for all the pre-season games with the lads on City Extra. Said goodbye to Mahrez this morning. Sad times, but other than that, man, all good, all good.
Yeah, no, big up to you, man. Henry, new first trophy under your belt in a few years. What are you saying? Since the Audi Cup. Big up to you, man.
Yeah, let's get a round of applause. Let's get that out of the way. Come on. Pre-season,
yeah, let's do that.
I told you Ange would bring trophies. I told you he would bring trophies.
Yeah, Champions of Singapore. You'll never sing that. Listen, I'm all good. Big up to everyone in the chat. I hope everyone's well. Just want this Kane news. He needs to go now. Come on, like this is dragging out. This is worse than the Caicedo deal. This could drag out to September the 1st at this rate.
Yeah, no, big up, man. We'll definitely discuss that. And obviously, Drifty's going to be coming in any minute now. Drifty, hope you're well. If you can hear us there, man. But yeah, man, we got a lot to discuss, people. Make sure you smash the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. But we've only got, I think, start off with the news regarding Caicedo. Charlie, what's going on, man? What's the latest? Obviously, David Ornstein yesterday reported that fourth bid was turned down, 75 million plus 5 million add-ons. Brighton do not want to sell despite midfielders wish to go. Chelsea also considering alternatives, including Romeo Lavia. But where does this end? Because like I said, it feels like a never-ending saga, this story here. Similar with Kane, similar with Lavia. These lot are just stretching at the minute for the money. But what are you saying?
I mean, like the first thing I would say is that I think Caicedo and his people have made a big mistake in signing that new deal in January with no release clause in the contract. That number one for me is a big mistake. Knowing you want to leave and then you sort of have some kind of makeshift gentleman's agreement. We know that these things in football don't exist. A gentleman's agreement to leave is just nonsense. It's not happening. So that was the first big mistake. From a Chelsea perspective as well, though, we've been locked in talks with Brighton for weeks, probably months now for Caicedo. We knew back in January that he was going to be a priority target. Obviously, Arsenal were linked with him back in January as well. They got Declan Rice. So it's been a one-horse race, just us in it. And we've been negotiating conversations weeks on weeks. We've had face-to-face chats in America. And yet I was under the impression that the whole point of these talks was to make sure that this was almost like a one and done. We knew what they wanted and we're just sorting out the structure of the payments and we go with it and we don't come drawn out in some protracted transfer saga. But that's exactly what we've got. You're doing weeks of negotiations. You're going with a first bid of 60 mil, which is less than what Arsenal offered in January, which was never going to get it done. You then go 65, which is less than what they offered. We then go 70, which is matching the offer. Didn't accept in January, not going to accept that now. And then we go in with 80. And Chelsea must have known all along that Brighton's asking price was best part of £100 million. You either pay that or you don't get the player. So I don't understand what we're doing. I don't understand what we could possibly still be discussing in these talks. For me, you either pay up for the player or you move on quickly and get someone else in. But we just wasted so much time now. And this is the priority position. So this feels like to me a little bit like United with Frankie de Jong last summer. courting him all summer, and then you don't get the player. This has got a similar feel to it. Now for Chelsea, we have to get this guy. You know, I think it's bordering on a disaster if we don't. It was the number one position to fill, a partner for Enzo Fernandez. We're letting Pochettino down before he's even started if we don't bring this guy in. We're letting Enzo Fernandez down as well to not give him a partner that he needs, and we're putting ourselves at a massive disadvantage because if we go for a Romeo Lavia or we go for someone else, good players, a massive downgrade on Caicedo at this point in time. So for me, we need to stop wasting time. We need to make up our minds. Are we paying the £100 million or are we not? If we are paying the £100 million, let's do it. Let's get on with it. And if we're not, let's chuck this deal away and go and get someone else. But for me, I think we just got to pay. Sometimes with certain players, you just got to pay the money. Because for me, this will be a transformative signing to our midfield. He instantly goes in, makes us way better in midfield. Enzo and Caicedo instantly, well, not instantly, but will become one of the best Premier League partnerships in midfield in the league. And we just need to do it. So it's really frustrating because I don't know what these directors are doing. And, you know, you see we're linked with other deals, Kudos, Elise at Palace, maybe also linked with Rayan Cherki. That's gone a little bit quieter now. But, you know, it feels like that other positions are being neglected for this deal. So for me, mate, we just need to pay up and get it done. Yes, you could say that, you know, we're setting a bad precedent for ourselves, showing that we're pushovers in the market. But Brighton have got us over a barrel here because they signed the new deal. They don't need the money. They don't want to sell the player. So they're saying to us, you pay or he stays. And they want Levi Colwell. We don't want to sell Colwell. So we're in a position where we desperately want Caicedo, which I think we do. We have to pay the money. And we're going to look a little bit like mugs in the market. But I'd rather be embarrassed in the market and get what we wanted rather than being embarrassed.
Especially what you need here.
What we want.
Especially when you need this midfielder for me. I don't know what the hesitation is, man. You know what I mean? We know what the score is. I get it, it's negotiation, but Brighton ain't going to mess around, man. Especially when they've lost McAllister, man. You're going to be playing up towards 90 million. Like Arsenal paid, what did you Arsenal guys pay? 105?
105 total, yeah.
105 total. Listen, Caicedo's a top player, man.
I still think 90 gets it done. I think 90 gets it done. If we did 85 plus 5, I think we could compromise in the middle, maybe £90 million. But we need to get a move on. Like, you know, this next bid will be our 5th bid. This has to be it. Otherwise, it's just a complete joke.
Yeah. Does anyone think that Caicedo isn't worth 100 million? Where would you say the pricing point would be, man? Like, in terms of Caicedo, like, where would you stop at?
Anything more than 100, stop. That's got to be.
Do you know what it is though? The issue is you've got to look at Brighton's situation. They've got all the power. Tony Bloom is the one who's got all the negotiating power. He's got Caicedo tied down to a new contract. They know Chelsea need him, and the reality is Chelsea have made a rod for their own backs in most instances for their transfers. Cucurella is a prime example. They pushed over. City went 50 million max. They went 60 whatever million it was. So Brighton know Chelsea will pay. Look at the Mudryk deal. Look at the Enzo Fernandez deal. Even if you look at recent signings that they've made, have they paid over the odds for a lot of these players? And the answer is yes.
Definitely.
And Tony Bloom, look, number one, he's the worst person you actually want to negotiate. You can't negotiate. He's one of those guys. He's got a number. You either pay up or you shut up and you shut up shop and go elsewhere. I don't even think you going for Lavia will actually convince Brighton to lower their asking price and accept a deal they're not willing to do. I think Tony Bloom is, and do you know why I say that? I think he's one of those. He's got an ego boost. He's got an ego problem. And Levi Colwell not being able to come to Brighton, he's definitely going to get one on you. He's going to go, give us our money.
You're going to say something there, Henry?
I was going to say, if Caicedo was playing in Serie A, how much? There's no way he's a £100 million player if he's playing in Serie A. There's no way.
But the thing is, it's Premier League.
That's what I'm saying. The Premier League.
We can do hypotheticals, but you know the reality is.
I know it's the reality. Like it's crazy. £100 million for Caicedo.
But it seems to be the going rate, though, doesn't it? Like for top.
I know.
It's mad.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Like,
but then you go and pay someone else, and Lavia for me ain't worth 50 million, and for me Caicedo's more ready right now. So you have to pay over the odds. Liverpool are paying, I reckon, about 20 million over the odds for Lavia. I think he's worth about 30 million.
Well, the thing is, though, with Lavia though, is that Southampton going to sell this summer? They want more than the buyback clause that City have got for 42 million, which comes in next summer. So they're going to want more than that to sell this summer because they're guaranteed 42 mil the following summer from City if they activate that. So they're going to want to sell for more. But I look, it depends how you look at it. 50 million pounds for an 18-year-old midfield player that's got a high ceiling and a high potential. Yes, there's still flaws in his game, but they could be ironed out. Like it raises the question: like, is 100 million for Caicedo or 50 million for Lavia better value for money? Like, it depends what you want, because Caicedo improves Chelsea right now instantly, and is a great partner for Enzo Fernandez, whereas Lavia got a great ceiling, great potential, but he's not going to be a good partner for Enzo Fernandez
you directly
right now.
replace a player buying Caicedo because he is your Kante replacement, who has been very crucial to you guys. All right, he's been injured for the past few seasons or had injury issues, but that's what you're replacing. And for me, when you start to break away from the traditional molds of players, like we went away from the Patrick Vieira mold, it took us a very long time to get back to where we needed to be until we found someone who can do that role. And for me, that'd be the correct decision to make, is go get what you know is proven in the system. Even when you look at Poch loves the legs in his midfield. Lavia, we don't know. We don't know how good this guy's going to be. We're all speculating. Whereas with Caicedo, granted it's one season, but this has been Brighton's best ever season, and Caicedo was the heart of it. And it's like Kante at Leicester. It was the heart of the midfield. He won the Premier League, did what no one expected him to do, and look at what Kante became. I think you guys would be dumb to walk away from this. I know you shouldn't be paying and you shouldn't be giving in, but I think that's one of those signings where who's going to laugh at you for signing Caicedo for 100 million?
No one is. But this is the point, though. Like, we've come so far down the road on this, like, we can't turn away from it now. We've done too much into the deal. Like, if you're going to walk away, you walk away after a couple of bids or whatever. Like, we're too far down the road on this one. So we have to get him.
Lavia instead of Caicedo? Would you be happy with that?
Well, I wouldn't be happy with it, but I'd be happy we've got another midfield player because we desperately need one.
Does that not mean there's no plan? Because let's be real,
it's a downgrade, though. This is the point, though. Like, if we're looking at Chelsea, say they got alternatives, right? Well, we need to get a move on if we're looking at these alternatives, because those alternatives are going to end up at different clubs. Lavia could end up at Liverpool. Lavia could end up at Liverpool, couldn't he? So for me, we have to get Caicedo. Sorry, mate.
Is that where we're at? You lot at phase one, identifying your players and a style, and then you'll slowly move down through the Arteta.
Do you know what? Like, but the bad thing is, right, like, we've known we wanted Caicedo since January. So, like, this deal should have been done weeks ago. Like, he should have been playing part in our pre-season. The fact is now, if he does come in, he's going to have no pre-season.
It's more of a relief. If he comes in, you're like, oh, it's done. It's like when getting rid of Kane or what's going to happen now. It's like, finally, it's done. We can move on. Stories are dragging out and out and out and out and out. And we're now sitting there going like, just get it done. You know?
Yeah. I've just made sorry, go on, mate.
No, I was going to say, this super chat here, Cucurella had to force a move before Brighton sold him. He refused to train and handed in a transfer request. Caicedo needs to do more. And he's done it before against with Arsenal, and it ain't worked for him in the end.
Mate,
so
he
did an Instagram post, and they were like, you're holding the bench. They don't care. Do what you need to do.
No, mate, at the end of the day, like, he can put in a transfer request, not turn up to training. Like, Brighton have made their stance very clear. You pay £100 million, so you're not going anywhere. Like, and it's, as I was saying before, it's like, that's on Caicedo and his people for signing a new deal in January, knowing you wanted to leave with no release clause in the contract. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Plus, let's not condone disrespectful behaviour towards teams. I don't want to see players doing that. I've got a bad back, I'm not coming to work. We've had that happen to us with Mascherano, Coutinho. That ain't good, man. I don't want to encourage that.
Sometimes you don't do it.
When it favours our club, I like it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But he'll do it to you, though.
But
he'll do it to someone else.
You don't rate your club if that's what you're saying. That means you don't think you're a big club. Because if you think you're one of the biggest clubs in England, why are you going to see a player wanting to leave you? That means you don't rate what you're doing.
Barcelona and Real Madrid steal from anyone, bro. Once those teams start coming around, trust me.
Barcelona trying to pay themselves at the moment. So let's not go. No one's going there.
But they're 1 in a million, though. We don't really have a big move like Ronaldo. Who else has been moved to the La Liga? From the Premier League,
150
million. Modric, Bale,
Usman Dembele, 150 million.
But they've kind of been staggered.
Phoenix, 130 million.
Yeah, they kind of been staggered though in that aspect. It's not been kind of like You know
Yeah,
what?
it's not
Every
been one
year,
after the other.
No.
yeah, one of the other, yeah, 100%. And Winsky says here 80 to 90 million max. Anything above that, Chelsea will be playing for the inconvenience cost of Brighton. Overinflated valuation, in my opinion. But if you want him, you pay. You know what I mean? I mean, when you look at it, what do you call it, Drifty? Are you worried now that are you looking at the situation a bit like, yo, them man need to wrap up Caicedo? You know, like we need to go get Lavia. Like, are you doing it in that sense, or are you like, yo, man, like we're calm, you know, we're
I think
calm.
the Lavia to Liverpool thing is almost done from what I'm reading. It will just be
Okay.
about whether we're willing to give them that little bit more money that they want, whether it be in add-ons or whatnot. And I think we will, because Lavia is a. I'm all in on the Lavia train. I think he's a special talent, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited that could be who we bring in. A lot of people will know who watch my channel. I said this about Caicedo last summer, and everyone looked at me sideways. What, after 18 games? Come on, man, stop being silly. I said, I know a talent when I see it. We're gonna have to pay 100 mil for this guy next summer. Why not do it now? And look what's happening now. We're having to pay 100 mil. Lavia could fall into the exact same bracket. You don't get him now. Next year he's a 100 mil player. Although City can obviously get him for 40 mil. So
Bro,
Yeah, but that's
I'm happy with it.
So you could get him for 50. Say they pay 42, come in with 50.
I mean, I don't care even if we pay 55. I just want the player now. Like, I've realized my team's tight and it's not my money. And where's the money go if they don't
exactly.
spend it? I don't know. All that prize money we've collected over the last couple of years, we ain't seen no massive expenditure at Liverpool. So if they're gonna do it now, do it now. We just got 55 mil for Hendo and Flacco. Just do it, innit? Just literally say those two players you swap for this player, and then you keep going with your plans you had already. But what I would hope, if Chelsea somehow got involved in Lavia and really did just push Liverpool out the way and get him, they did, I don't know, maybe they went higher on wages or they did something that convinced him more to go to Chelsea than Liverpool. What I would hope, and this is where my team probably never would, what I would hope is that Liverpool realised that they had no choice but to go and pay for Caicedo now, because who else is there really that they've looked at that would suit the role? So possibly it could mean we just
True.
flip around. Liverpool are then forced to have to pay the 100 mil for Caicedo, and then Chelsea can have Lavia. I don't know whether Liverpool would do that, but desperate times call for desperate measures, right? If they steal Lavia from us, we actually don't have a DM. It'll almost be like having to spend £18 on Burger King at the airport because there's nowhere else to go. So you either buy this or you're hungry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we might be
Yeah.
forced into that kind of scenario. I don't know. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I think Lavia to Liverpool will get wrapped up within the next maybe 4 or 5 days, I reckon.
Mm. Yeah, listen, it's one of them where for me, you know, this situation is a bit of a mad one. And you know what? This is sorted. Everyone's like, I feel like this transfer window's been like domino effects. That player goes to there, so then that player makes that sense there. Like Huey, I don't know if you're shaking your head there, but like, if do you reckon that's been the case this transfer window? Like teams are just kind of like relying on others to kind of make a move. It's like chess, man. You know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't paid a huge amount of attention to every single transfer that's gone on, but I just know from my own club that is the case. You know, with Mahrez going, City have doubled down and said to Bernardo, "You ain't going, brother. You're here now. You're staying," and that kind of thing too. So, yeah, it's domino effect. You know, one player leaving or going somewhere will trigger another club into action, and that seems to be the case. So, yeah, it's a mad transfer window.
Yeah. Listen, man, I don't know what happens, but listen, I think for me, Liverpool have got to get this Lavia done sorted out because again, Fabinho is got on his way out. Are you still like Drifty? Is that enough for you? Are you confident in that? Is this where you thinking, bro? Like, is that enough for you?
No. It's not enough. But the funny thing is, it will be the most we've ever done since the year we sold Coutinho when we bought Alisson, Shaqiri, Fabinho. You know, that summer where basically after we lost the Champions League final and we spent all that money and then we went on and won it.
Yeah.
It'll be the most money we spent since then, which is what, 5 years, 6 years ago. So it'll be quite interesting how far we actually do go in terms of expenditure because everyone knows Liverpool don't really spend a lot, but we do need more. We probably need another centre back minimum after we buy Lavia. Ideally, I think we need another midfielder as well. I mean, and I've said it to you guys before, but the scary thing is with Thiago not being fit and Basetic not being fit, Curtis Jones is the only fit and available midfielder at the start of the season. That was
Can Harvey Elliott not play there? Does Harvey Elliott not play midfield a little bit?
I think he'll be back up to Salah now on the
Yeah.
right wing for this season. Yeah, I can't really see him playing in midfield this season. I mean, I don't like him there either. He can, but I mean, you can't lose 5 or 6 first team players, even though a couple of them never really played, and only bring in 1 or 2.
Do you think it's
more
well
than what you already had planned? You know what I mean?
If Lavia comes, does that mean Kefram Thuram's off the table? Do you think it's one of them too, or do you think you need both?
Yeah.
Oh, we need both. We need both. I want Kefram. He's another one that in a few years' time could be worth 100 million. And it'll be like, why didn't anyone go and get him when he was only?
Surprised
30?
he's not forcing it. He's not forcing the weight, Kefram Thuram.
No, he's not.
No.
I mean, why
Why
would he?
I thought
Why
I heard
would he?
the Thuram deal was off. No, like it doesn't end.
Yeah.
We basically we didn't want we stopped the interest in him after we got Soboslai and we got McAllister. But with both of our players in Flacco and Hendo now being taken, that was like the rugs being pulled from under us. So we've had to change the plans that we had because Fabinho was supposed to be the number 6 this season, and then we're going to bring Lavia in to learn from him for a year, and then Fabinho was going to go next year, which I was completely all right with. I think that makes perfect sense. You learn from the master, and then he goes maybe about the last 15 games of the season. He's already forced his way in, and Fabinho's on the bench, and then he's preparing himself ready for the following season. To come in now and be the first teamer is a big ask for Lavia. So we're going to have to see if the kid's got the minerals. But I think that we've got to bring in 2, whether it be Kone, now that his knee injury wasn't that bad, whether it be Kefram, whoever it may be, that was somebody that was on our list before. I think but whether we will or not, you know what I mean? That again, spend a lot of money. So we need a centre back as well. I don't know how we spend all this money, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Absolutely, I hear you. Make sure you guys are liking the video, people. Make sure you are doing that. Apparently, we've made a new bid for Rasmus Hojlund. It's closer to, I think it's 60 million euros going to that amount. Has anybody watched Rasmus Hojlund, by the way? Are you guys familiar? Anyone watched him? Anyone?
Nah,
Yeah, okay,
no.
okay.
I absolutely hate the fact he's going to use. This is a star in the making. I'm genuinely being real. This guy, the issue is I knew we weren't going to get an attacker or like a striker per se this season, but he was on the shortlist for what I wanted Arsenal to go for next season. Now, a lot of people are looking at his stats going, oh, he's only scored 9 goals and whatever, how many assists. The reality is watch him play. The guy's a complete package with a very good finish on him. And I think someone like Erik ten Hag, the likes of, these sort of managers who do really well with young players, he is going to thrive in this system. He is what you guys want. He's that complete striker who can come in deep, hold up the play, build up. But if you need him to be that fox in the box, a poacher, he can also do that. He's tall, he's strong, he's physical, but he's got a bit of agility to him as well. And for me, I really do hate it. I can't hate on him because he's a player I've admired for a few seasons now. And truthfully, I found him on Football Manager a few seasons back, and then I actually started watching him because it's like, this guy's actually done bits for me.
But isn't this a bit of an indictment of what the centre forward market's like? That Manchester United, who need a main number 9 to score them a lot of goals, are having to turn to a 20-year-old kid from Serie A who has got a lot of potential. But that's massive pressure, though. But that's the indictment of how poor the market is for centre forwards at this point in time. That United
is that our perception of what a centre forward should be doing now? Because I don't think the centre forward for most systems is a goal scorer anymore.
But that's what United are looking for, though, a goal scorer.
No, but I think they're relying on Rashford to get the goals, with Hojlund being like secondary to that.
But I would have looked at Hojlund and I would have looked at him and thought he would have been a good rotation option to learn off a more senior forward. But I don't know you're going to get that.
Ideally, we would have wanted Kane and Hojlund, but obviously the money's a bit, it's a bit sticky, and obviously Levy don't want to deal with us anyway. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Levy and Kane in a bit, but ideally would have been Kane and then Hojlund as a kind of the guy that's the next up. But obviously the market is bad, but also I think the manager's going for profile now. If it fits the system and you can kind of tailor towards everyone else, he could be a good foil for others to kind of score more goals. He's not a natural goal scorer, but like I said, he's still young, raw. He's one for the future. You know what I mean? Next season, we'll realize did we make a mistake in terms of maybe not getting another striker alongside him to kind of add to that experience? But bro, when you look at only Haaland and Harry Kane in the Premier League are natural goal scorers. I don't think Nunes is a natural goal scorer. I don't think Jesus is a natural goal scorer. I don't think the Jackson guy, listen, remains to be seen. But again, are Chelsea going to realise that he's going to get 30 goals this season? I don't think anyone's putting that pressure on him. So it's bleak, man. You know what I mean? Barcelona have still got Lewandowski. You know, 35-year-old Lewandowski playing up front for them. You know, so I don't know, man. Until you get natural goal scorers coming out of the blue, and
but that's the
Ivan
thing.
Toney?
No, but United are set up so
Ivan
differently.
Toney,
Because if you think about Bruno,
we couldn't get him. Sorry, Ivan Toney, but we couldn't get him. That's why I would have put him. He would have been number one choice for me, Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
but I think he ruins what Eric Ten Hag is building, though. Because if you look at it in reality, Mason Mount, as much as people want to slate him, he does have goals in him. Bruno has goals in him. Then you look at Rashford, has goals in him. You know, that's what I think he's built. He's building a team of goal scorers rather than an individual.
Yeah. Spread it around, 100%.
Is he quick?
Like I said,
this Hojlund guy, is he quick?
Yeah, he's pretty quick.
He's quick,
Decent quick, yeah.
He's quick.
I could tell you guys want to play a lot more counter-press, counter-attack football rather
he
than...
did say they want to become the best transition team, and that perfectly sums it up with Rashford being there, with someone like Anthony or even Sancho, and then obviously playing him down the middle.
You also have to factor in that with a better team around him, like he's playing, what is it, Atalanta now, isn't it? Yeah. With a better players around him, better chance creators. He's going to get a good few chances on a plate, and his goal scoring stats are going to improve. I mean, the pressure going to Man United, it's pretty high anyway. But bringing in this kid, I think for 60 million, it's not the worst in today's market. For a player that you're hoping is going to cut his teeth and learn his trade at Man United at the same time as relieving your Rashfords, Brunos, mainly those two of the pressure scoring goals. I get Mount can score goals, but you're not going to put him in as a prolific goal scorer. He's not guaranteed to come in and get 10, 15 this season. So if Hojlund can come in himself and get 10, 15 in his first season, 10 even, it's a pretty decent job for a 20-year-old who's still cutting his teeth. So I actually really understand the transfer. It reminds me a lot of our transfer for Gabriel Jesus when we first brought him in. He was coming in to semi-learn his trade under the pressure of playing for Man City. Obviously, he had Aguero in front of him, which was a bit of a blessing for him that you don't have right now. But that's kind of the transfer you're going with right now. You're not going to get a big hitter. You're not going to go find a Haaland or a Kane right now. So you have to go into that level down of a market.
You could have had Haaland, but Ollie was too slow.
He won trophies, so he came somewhere else. But you have to go down the market.
Let's not rewrite history. We could have got Haaland, but
I think Mount will get 10 goals. I think Mount is going to surprise a lot of people.
I'm not saying it. I just don't think it's guaranteed. It's not as out and out.
I get that.
Yeah, and also 60 million. Yeah, you're right. That is a new 30 million. Like the price is the price now. Atlanta now. They've bought an unknown striker for was it 20 million or something like that? They've just bought now. So they're going to have to get some money back. Italian league, what we're going to have to realize is that a lot of teams know how much money this Premier League is. Yeah. So they're going to say, right, we're going to make sure you lot pay the most. But also when you do sell, we're going to pay the least because that's how it works. They don't have money. We have all the money. And we take all their stars.
You're paying for the potential as well. It's not just what he is now. Yeah. You're paying for what he could be in 2, 3, 4 years' time, which could be a very good player. So, but that's where I'm thinking you could do with a more senior player for him to help off. But you chuck him in at the deep end.
Martial's still there, right?
Oh yeah, Martial, isn't it? Yeah.
Nah, come on, man. This is no. Listen,
bro, man,
all the saves we throw at him when he's actually playing, he balls. It's just he doesn't play very often.
It's free.
We got to keep it apart.
Saeed's saying we're not here for foolishness, man.
Hold on a minute. Was he not playing well this season, Saeed, until he got injured again? He came back from injury, played really well, then got it. It's just the injuries. It's not his talent. It's not.
Again, none of it. Hold on a minute. You can't just say just the injuries. He is always injured. That's what you don't understand.
But if you've got this brother here taking the pressure off, and then Marshy can help him on the training field and then come in every now and again and play, that could run, right? He won't be pressured to play all the time, week in, week out.
But you know what it is though? I don't want a squad player like Martial to be there to be available. He's not available. So imagine now Hojlund gets injured. Martial's that type of guy to be injured while a player's injured. Do you get it? He's that kind of guy. And I feel
I do get that. I do get that.
You get what I'm trying to say? We need a player who, for me, is available when, I'm not saying Weghorst was the guy, but at least he was available. But I'm just trying to say that Martial ain't available, so we can't use him, man.
Well, what
So-
about if you play
But
Martial when
you
he's
have
available?
Martial.
Play
Would you take-
Martial when he's available, and then when Martial's injured, then you play Hojlund.
Would you take
And-
him? Take him.
Who, Martial?
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
But I'm sick of injury-prone players. No, but I'm sick of injury-prone players. Come on, at Liverpool, we got Matip, we got
Bro,
Naby, we had.
you don't
I'm
consent,
sick of
man,
injury-prone players. So nah,
You just
Nah,
literally.
I think even you'll agree with me, Saeed, that it's enough is enough with Martial. Even I'm bored of hearing he's back. You know, Martial's back.
No,
he's
no.
this. He's that. Oh, he's injured again.
Done.
Boring, mate. Do you know
That's
what I
it,
mean?
exactly.
The ship sailed.
Mate, who's
Yeah,
going to buy
yeah.
him? No one. Who's going to buy him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And he's on 250k a week. So we got high wages. No, Sevilla, they had enough. They had enough, and they saw.
Mate,
They
he got
sent him
injured
back.
there like straight away as well, didn't he?
Yeah, man. He's just
He's
for
made
me,
of breadsticks.
sometimes, you know what it is though? I feel like sometimes footballers, yeah, like they can't be injury prone, but they also got to look after yourselves. Like maybe having yoga, maybe doing swimming, like I don't know, man, do things that help you in it. And I think maybe footballers get a bit neglected in that aspect. They don't do it. They don't do the extra training. Look at Milner. Milner's in top tier condition every single time because he looks after himself and he kind of like, make sure he does the extra hard work that needs
I
to be
think
done.
diet plays
So-
a big part as well in that. Because, if you only drink water, for example, you're going to be a lot more natural than if you have fizzy drink now and again and alcohol. Do you know what I mean? So diet is very important. I don't know if Martial does do those things, but I'm saying I've always thought to myself, when it comes to players like Naby Keita, for example, like, why are you always injured and you're only 23, 24, 25 years old? Like, is it the way you're living life more than that you're just an injury-prone player? Like, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one,
Yeah, listen, man, it is what it is. But big up to Martial anyway, man. 1.4k in the building. Make sure, guys, you are liking the video. We're halfway through the show. Smash the likes up, people, man. You know what I mean? It's free to do so. It helps the channel. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk about Harry Kane, man. This never-ending story. You know what, man? I've got a feeling that Daniel Levy is sabotaging this deal. Because how does a meeting that was meant to be happening today, then it's happening next week now. So apparently, the meeting regarding Kane and Bayern board and chairman initially planned for today has been rescheduled. It will take place early next week. Kane deal remains at the same stage.
Mate, he must be busy
this
sorting out those centre-back deals. That's why it's been rescheduled.
Yo, I don't know, man. I feel like for me, he's sabotaging the deal. As
He's
long as it
taking
gets
the
close
piss.
to the
Sabotaging his job then, ain't he? If he sabotages his deal, he might not have a job.
But the guy upstairs is sabotaging the whole thing because he's going to be locked up soon. So you know what I mean? Like, it's all,
Maybe
Do you know what he had to? Do you know
cellmates
what?
with Paratici.
Oh,
yeah,
mate,
exactly.
he
The whole
he had to
fuck,
give.
man.
He's got a 397-foot yacht that's worth $300 million, and he gave that as collateral for for his court case. So he gives up his $300 million yacht, which is like the size of my road, and yet we've been looking at Van der Ven for 34 days at
Wow.
23 million quid. This club is an absolute disgrace. And Kane, look, he needs to go. Just go and just get out of here because we're like, what are we doing? Like, real talk, what are we actually doing? We've been sitting here for nearly 5 weeks trying to get a centre back who plays for an 8th place team in the Bundesliga. We're not pinching a player from a rival club. We got our owners being indicted by the Bank of New York or by the United States of America from a court in New York that's got a 98.7% win rate. So our owner's finished. Daniel Levy will buy him out and get full control of his football club. And it's just going to be the merry-go-round goes round and round and round. We're now looking at Kessie. He did slot straight in as that DM for us because we ain't got a DM. But the centre back,
he's a DM, though, to be honest with you. I don't think
Oh,
he's a
hey,
DM.
did you say Levy will buy him out? Did you say?
Levy, yeah, 100%.
Will you
Well, he's
protest
got
that?
enough
Will
money
first
to
fan
do that.
protest that if Levy goes to buy them out.
Daniel Levy's someone in Daniel Levy's family is going out with Joe Lewis's daughter, right? So he's already in his pockets as it is. It's part of the family
And
now.
surely it would cost about 4 billion to buy Tottenham minimum.
It's going to be backhand handshakes under the table. You'll still be on the payroll, but I'll be the face of the football club. That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing this window? Like, everyone's making moves. Look at it. Arsenal conceded 20 less goals than us and gone out and bought Timber. Aston Villa conceded 15 less goals than us gone out and bought Pau Torres. We've got in the Premier League right now, the only teams last season that had worse defenses, 3 of them got relegated. One of them was Bournemouth, and it was us. So we were the 5th worst defense. So we got no centre backs. Our star player, we've just that mural we got outside the ground, the graffiti of Harry Kane. We might as well start mopping that down now, because guarantee you he's going Bayern Munich, 1,000,000%. He's going Bayern Munich. So just move on now. We've always been this football club that's had little gem players: Ginola, Bale, Modric, Berbatov, Gaza, Kane. We've never had a team that's really been like a proper squad other than 1961.
This one would hurt though. This one would hurt though, wouldn't it? Like losing Harry Kane. I think this would be the. Ginola,
I don't look at it like that though, because he's going to Bayern Munich. If he was going to one of your clubs,
United,
it'd be a dagger in the back. But he's going to Bayern Munich, so it's like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I don't know, guys, man. You're gonna have to chat to me, but because I just think for me, it's you know what it is though. Levy has just not helping Ange, because I feel like now then he has to find a striker. Richarlison ain't it. He has to then find a striker. Who else is out there? We're just talking about the market being so rubbish. Then he has to do what? Like, I don't get it.
I swear Spurs. I think Spurs want Kolo Muani. I was seeing that like he would be the number one option to replace him. Must be
Yeah, the market's crazy right now, man. I think we've got to wait till it calms down a bit, and then maybe in the next year or so it'll go a little bit more back to normal, because we can't stay like this, man. This is crazy. He had a good season, 100 mil. What's going on now, man?
No, but the thing is, though, now it's slow now. You see how it started off like zoom, but now teams are a bit like, yo, we need to chill, man. We're spending a lot of money here, and teams are just taking the piss out of us. Transfers now have become a bit methodical now. It's very, very much a case of chess. It's a case of, you know what? Like, we're going to wait and see what's going on in the market, who makes a first move and who makes this and who makes that. Like, it's very, very like, I don't know, man. It's a weird market now. And like I said, everyone's in the same pot. Like before, everyone would go to their own side and go do scouting over here and go play. Now everyone's copying each other's homework, man. You know how man used to copy each other's homework and that? That's what people are doing now, because the market is rubbish. But Drifty, I know you got to shoot, man. So big up to you, Drifty, man. Love for coming on as usual, bro.
Yeah, no, apologies for shooting. Friday evenings are crazy, bro. But no, big up, man. Love to see you guys next week. Big up, everyone. Make sure you smash the like button as well, man. Big up, boys.
Big up. Love, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to H192. Says also submitting a formal bid to buy Conor Gallagher for around 40. Oh,
mate, I just checked that. It's bollocks.
Oh man, come on, man. Yo, listen.
We've done our signing with Chelsea for the summer. We've done it. It's only one.
Yeah, man. Nah, that's wild, man. But Huey, what do you reckon, man? Is this fair on Ange? I know you're a big fan of Ange, but you know what I mean, like, because there was a couple of fans yesterday on Twitter that were saying, "Oh, Ange should walk," and this disgrace, and it's not being treated right and whatnot. So I don't know, man. What do you reckon?
I think Ange will look at it probably two ways. Two things can be right at once. I think the first way is obvious. You're losing arguably one of two of the best goal scorers in the world. But the thing with Ange is, when he arrived at Celtic first, the team was just bones. You know what I mean? There was no real top players there. He had to come in and have a fresh slate. He brought in 7 or 8 Asian guys. He brought in Carter Vickers as well, who turned out to be great. Starfelt, Jota, all these guys. He built his own team. So I know that there's a part of Ange will go, we sell Harry Kane. There's revenue there for me to have my own clean slate. It's no longer going to be the Harry Kane team and co. It's going to be Ange is able to make his own team, and it's a fresh slate for him. So that's what I've thought. Even without Ange, that's something Tottenham should possibly have looked to do for a while. I know it's hard to say goodbye to a great player, but fresh slate, start from scratch and build up. Learn to live without Harry Kane, because it's going to come at some point. And I think Ange has proven it. Yes, at Celtic a lower level, but he can work off a fresh slate, a clean canvas. So I think there's a part of him, and there should be a part of Tottenham fans, even though it's sad to say goodbye, like I keep saying, should be excited about a new slate, a clean slate, and a new beginning. So from my experience and my knowledge of Ange, that's the way he will look at it. He will be excited by it. So, I mean, Henry, I don't know. I saw a lot of Tottenham fans on Twitter saying that they're actually really, really happy with the football they've seen. I know it's only preseason games, but it's like a revelation. It's brand new. You haven't seen this level of attacking football before. So allow Ange to keep building on that and bring in players that he wants. plenty of them will be players you've never heard of. That's the way he'll work, and he'll turn them into what he wants. So, it's two things can be right at once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I've watched both the games, we actually, the opposition, you can't really it's not much of a test, is it, playing, the Singapore rowing team and West Ham's kids, right? It's not, you don't expect us to be put on the back foot. That being said, we have faced 5 shots and conceded 4 goals, so that's up there for a new record. But in terms of the way we keep the ball and the way we're moving forward, I don't actually think the system suits Harry Kane, because we need a number 9 or a forward who's going to be pressing. And Harry Kane's so used to dropping deep. Like, he's dropping deep and getting in Maddison's position. So Maddison's getting the ball going, where are you? Like, it sounds crazy, but Richarlison suits the system better. Harry Kane as a number 9 is gonna have 2 shots and score 2 goals. Richarlison's gonna have 5 or 6 and score 1. Right? We know how good Harry Kane is, but he needs a Bayern Munich system where he's got the wingers that are going to be creating them all the chances, and he's going to be the fox in the box, not dropping.
What do you do as a manager, though, Henry? If you're a manager, I'd rather. I'm not saying compromise your philosophy, but you've got to cater towards Harry Kane. Is your proven world-class striker?
I get that, but he can't press.
No. You don't.
Can I jump in? Sorry, can I jump in? The way Ange wants to play will actually bother Harry Kane, because he's not getting that freedom to drop deep and roam into the middle of the pitch. Ange had 3 strikers during his time at Celtic: Kyogo, Georges Giakoumakis, and a South Korean guy called O. All 3 of them were basically told, you're now a fox in the box. Allow the pacey wingers and creative midfielders around you to put it on a plate for you. But we know Harry Kane doesn't like to do that. He can do that, but his best attributes are he gets deep, he gets involved in link-up play, then he'll finish things off. Whereas Ange, I know, he won't want to compromise. He'll basically tell Harry Kane, if you're still here, you're a fox in the box. It'll be a different Harry Kane. So I get what Henry's saying.
That's the point as well. Yeah. I think for everyone at the club as well, similar to Chelsea with Caicedo, we just want this to end. It's getting to the point where it's boring. Like, it's almost going to be a relief what happens, because we're so, every news, there's all these ITKs and all these Tottenham fans that think they've actually got news when it's the same person, just with different accounts. Unless Romano comes out and says it, we're all just kind of sitting here waiting. Like, is he going? Is he staying? Daniel Levy's dragging this out. All the stuff about our owner getting indicted, and we can't get centre backs. Like, the club right now, if you're a foreign player, let's say you are Mickey van der Ven, and you see Tottenham's owner getting indicted, the best player we've had in 15 years is going, right? It's not good PR for the club. It's just not, is it?
No, you're right. You're right. You know what it is, though? Again, the way the football club is run, though, and because it's now more commercial and you're now doing all this kind of things in the background and whatnot, it kind of does make sense, because the owners don't really care about the footballing side of it. They just care about making Champions League football when they can, and then obviously, you know what I mean, and obviously infrastructure around it. So, they're going to drag this out. They're going to make sure it's on their terms. Daniel Levy sometimes is long for the sake of it. Sometimes I just feel like he's just creating this impression now. Every owner, I don't know what is his pundits here, but every pundit keeps saying that Daniel Levy is a great chairman and he's a great this and he's a great that. And I'm like,
but based on what?
Is he really? That's what I'm saying. But when you watch these pundits, they always say he's a good businessman. You hear these TalkSport pundits, they say he's a good businessman. He's always there for Tottenham.
He's a good businessman. He's not a good footballing man.
I seen something saying as well that Levy's not ruling out Kane signing a new deal. Like, surely he doesn't.
If he signs a new deal, you've got to be out of your mind. I don't care how much they write on that, unless it's Saudi numbers. No amount of Premier League money would if you are the best player for the club and you are probably top 3 in the league. I'll probably say De Bruyne, you are one of the best football players in the world, and you've been at this football club since you were 10 years of age. How many more chances are these owners going to? We're going to go again. When back in 2016-17, we were runners up to Chelsea. That was the time to get 2 more players. We'd have won the league. Another centre-back and another forward, and we'd have won the league after Chelsea. The FA Cup final, they're bringing on the likes of Matic and Hazard, who both start for us. That's their bench. That was the time to show Harry Kane, when he's putting pen to paper, we're a serious football club. We've signed 2 centre-backs since Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen have gone. One of them was Joe Rodon, who literally has played under 40 games with his club, and the other one was Romero.
Oh,
Since then,
sorry.
Arsenal signed
Just a
four.
quick
Yeah,
one, bro.
breaking news.
Mate, Maguire rejected 20 mil bid from West Ham.
What?
Yeah, mate, Ornstein.
What is that?
Honestly,
Breaking news?
fucking hell.
Yeah, just
By
now,
the way,
Man United reject 20 mil offer from West Ham to sign Harry Maguire.
Yo, what are you doing?
And by the way,
Man
Huey,
United?
you want to read the super chat? You want to read the super chat, Huey?
He
before I
suits
move it
West
out?
Ham, though.
Oh yeah, Said. The city is yours. The city is yours. 75,000 moldy seats. Are you fucking sure? Mole Trafford.
Yeah, there you go. I read the super chat there.
I had to double check. I thought you were trying to pull a fast one on me. I had to read it.
No. Wait, you need to read that one because
so
I
they
can
put
say
in a
it's one of
£20
them.
million bid.
Yeah, 20
That's
mil.
perfect for West Ham. Get him in the middle, Maguire on the left, Zuma on the right, and a back three. He suits West Ham to a T.
Mate, is
Yeah.
that another club
West
trying
Ham.
to... Henry, is that another club trying to sign a centre-back before Spurs?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both of their centre backs, Zuma and Maguire, to start for us.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Seriously. It's the 28th of July. It's Harry Kane's birthday today. He's supposed to be signing pen to paper with Bayern Munich, and we've managed to Spursy that up.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
come
true.
on now.
Said, why have United rejected this?
Bro, I'm not
They're
gonna
on
lie
40
to you,
mil.
man. I'm not gonna lie. I take this, man. You know what I mean? 20 million for me, just get him off the books, man. I'm
What's
just
the
sick and tired
asking
of this.
price for him?
I think they want about 40 million, 40 million.
40
I
million?
genuinely think. But like I said to you, the fact that he's saying here, the feeling that he wants to stay and fight for his place is scary, man. And the salary as well. He's on 200 grand a week, man. They ain't
He's
gonna
not
offer
getting
him
that
his
at West Ham.
wages. They ain't gonna offer him his wages. That's the problem, though. They ain't gonna offer him his wages.
Which
You know?
Reckon he'll go on loan.
Yeah, I was going to say, I reckon he could end up on loan.
He
West
needs
Ham
to
will
let
pay
go of that
40%
chapter
of
of
his
his
wage.
life, man. He needs to let go of that chapter of his life, Harry Maguire. Go start somewhere fresh and rebuild your profile, because the Man United dream is dead, brother. The Man United dream is dead.
I'd say if he stays at
Yeah.
United, right, he's hardly going to play, and he won't be a starter for England at the Euros next summer if he stays at United.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, though, you know what it is with Southgate, though? I think he'll just pick him regardless. I generally do. But let me know, guys, how much you reckon we should get for him, or how much you reckon is a reasonable offer? What do you reckon, Sills? What do you reckon would be a good offer for Harry Maguire?
20 million, but clearly that's not good enough for you guys. I don't know what you want. The guy's on 200k a week. Let's be real, hasn't lived up to the hype that he had when he joined Hughes. Firstly, 80 million was a high number anyway, but he needs to rebuild his career. That's the kind of player he's become. Whether that's on loan, he's not going to get the opportunity to kind of raise his profile. How do you actually think you're getting 40 million? Like, no one in their right mind. If you think about it, go get that guy that from Wolfsburg, the one that Spurs won for what, 30 million, 23 million?
No, don't get
like
Van
that.
in.
Yeah.
Please don't.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at it, like, if you're looking at Harry Maguire for 40 million, there's so many other players in other leagues. Like Pau Torres, for example, would have been a perfect one if you're looking at 40 million. Like Harry Maguire, I know United want to rebuild their reputation in the market, but there's certain players you just aren't going to get certain money for. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
No,
I don't know
you're
what
right.
you guys think he's worth.
I'd have bit the hand
Oh,
off 20 million, mate. I'd be busting out the champagne. I'd break the red panties out. 20 million to get him off the books on 200k a week. Let him go,
Yeah.
man.
You know what it is, though?
Pay for his train, man. Pay for his train. Let him go down to London. You've been great, Harry. Off you go.
I feel like sometimes it's sometimes, you know, when you look at these kind of deals, right? You know, we ideally I want it to drag and get 30, 40 million. But again, I'm not here to save Glazer's money. I'm not here to do all of that shit. I just want a player who, for me, has created I'm not saying toxicity in the fan base, but the fan base have created a feeling that, you know what, they hate him and da-da-da and whatnot. And it's just caused too much drama. Get him off the books, get his wages off the books, and just say, bye-bye. Good luck on your future. Go West Ham.
You know,
And
the
for his
biggest thing
sake
we
as
forgot.
well.
You stripped
And
off
for
the
his sake-
captaincy, so you've come out and already said this guy is like surplus the requirements by doing that. So I don't know what you expect to happen. Like, these clubs know, okay, Harry Maguire is not going to be a big part of your club. He's doing all this PR bullshit where he's like individual training and, you know, I'm ready to fight from a place. Like, fight for what? You're not Varane. You're not Martinez.
Isn't he fourth choice? He's behind Lindelof as well, Said.
He's
Yeah,
behind Luke
behind
Shaw.
Lindelof.
Luke
Behind
Shaw
Shaw.
plays centre back
Behind Shaw
over.
at centre back.
So he's
Yeah,
fifth
yeah.
choice, basically.
Fifth
They'd,
choice.
yeah, they'd rather
yeah.
put their
Fifth choice.
fullbacks at centre back and then put Maguire if they have to.
Mate, this must be one of your worst transfers you've ever done.
Lukaku,
You know, yeah, 100% listen.
Oh, Lukaku's
Nah,
one of the worst
Lukaku,
ever.
yeah.
But like in terms of United, though,
Yeah.
but like for United though, isn't this this must be one of your worst in recent history, surely?
Yeah, in terms of that signing, yeah, definitely, man. But again, like I said, it's just one of them where Ollie got a bit excited, didn't it? You know what I mean, and whatnot. And
But Jose wanted him as well, though.
Yeah, again,
Jose's different though because he would have played like a 3-back with him.
Yeah,
that's
but
what West Ham are going to do.
Didn't City want him as well?
West Ham are
They were
going to do that.
interested.
We bid, I believe, 60 million from him, and Leicester said, "Nah, we said, right, we're walking away."
You know what's crazy? Yeah, that season, I remember I was chatting to my mate Nuruddin, yeah, and we was talking about centre backs, and I was talking about this up and coming defender called Ruben Diaz, and we did a podcast. I said we go for that Ruben Diaz, man. Let's go for him. He's a quality centre back. He's young, up and coming, but he's raw. He's got good leadership qualities. And then we ended up going getting Varane. Maguire, and I was like, oh my days, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how
City, that sharp sweeps in, just grabs it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know
How
what I
do
mean?
you think he would have done at City, by the way? Do you think he would have done decent?
No, I don't think his ball. Like, I would never criticize a deal, but in hindsight now, I don't think his ball playing ability is good enough to survive in a Pep Guardiola team. But
don't forget, you would have been coached by Pep.
You can't coach some of these people to be at the level.
He ain't a miracle worker.
Yeah, do you know what? Though? I think Maguire's biggest issue is I think he's got the ability, but he's stupid. That's the problem.
Yeah. Pep don't want stupid, man. You got to be high IQ to play for City. You know what I mean? All our centre halves are good ball players, high footballing IQ. I just don't think his ceiling is high enough, Harry Maguire, to play under Pep.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I agree. Big up to everybody who's still here. 1.6k in the building, man. That's crazy numbers indeed. But are you liking the video, people? That's the key question, because the other day we could be here, we could be doing the content, but we need you guys to smash the like button on the video. So right now, everybody just take a moment to pause, take a moment to just relax and hit that like button right now, and make sure you're subscribing to everyone's channels, man. You know what I'm saying? The all links are in the description below. I want to touch on Mahrez, Huey.
Saeed, can I just touch on one of the messages in the chat? There's some guy telling me to shut up and that I'm wrong about Maguire, because if Maguire was at City, he'd be playing the John Stones role. So you're telling me Harry Maguire would be a box-to-box midfielder for Manchester City. I'm finished.
Mate, how much did Harry Maguire treble winner?
No. Do you know what he is?
Bro, crazy.
I actually kind of want to see it now.
Nah. You go turn on your Football Manager again and do that, because I don't want to do it in real life.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. But no, listen, I think for me, like I said, it's one of them situations where, he has to go now. Just go play some football, enjoy life.
Your classic moment would not have happened. Harry Beckenbauer, that we wouldn't have had that.
Man, Nah, man, that was crazy, man. Like, I don't know what I was doing. Lockdown, I told you, man, the vaccine and everything that came up with it, man. I wasn't feeling well, man. So it's one of those situations, man. But I want to move on to Mahrez, yeah. I want to ask the question, yeah. Where does Mahrez rank in the all-timers in terms of wingers? Because I think this guy has been a quality winger for the past 5 to 6 years in the Premier League. Like, where does he rank? Like, would you put him in the level of Salah, Eden Hazard? In that level?
Definitely top 10 for sure.
Yeah, top 10.
I think the thing
I
of
think
Mahrez
he deserves to be in that spot.
Even as a City fan, I won't put him in that category, because the difference is your Hazards and Salahs, they were doing it on their own at times. Do you know what I mean? They were single-handedly.
Yeah.
They were the man. The thing with Mahrez is he's always had other players around him. He still shined. Don't get me wrong.
At Leicester, though, he did it on his own. It was just him and Vardy, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'm talking about longevity. I'm just talking about longevity in that sense. You know what I mean? I think he's definitely top 10. I mean, his stats, he averages a goal or an assist every 100 minutes, and he has done for 6-7 years. That's absolutely outrageous. 5-time Premier League winner, big Champions League goals. As well. Yeah. Big Champions League goals, hat tricks in cup games, that kind of thing. Riyad Mahrez is we won't replace him. As Pep says, we cannot replace him.
Yeah.
We won't replace him.
We cannot replace him.
There's not many wingers in world football you can bring in that guarantees you goals. I know we said about strikers, the market's dry. Wingers, the market's dry in that sense as well. There's not many prolific wingers out there. You know what I'm saying? We've been linked with Dani Olmo. We've been linked with Rafinha. We've been linked with
Elise.
Michael Olise. Olise has 4 goals in the last 2 seasons.
It's creative though.
He's got to, he had
yeah,
10
no,
assists last year though.
Yeah.
And under Pep, he'd improved that tenfold.
I was saying this on stream this morning. I was like, there's no point in us going out to look for a direct replacement for Riyad Mahrez, a like for like. Instead, you know, if you can get one, great. But if you can't, look for a player like Olise who will facilitate your Haalands and Fodens and De Bruyne's and get them more goals. Because, like I said, you're not going to replace Riyad Mahrez's goals. He's such a unique winger in that sense. He's so prolific. But we've also been trying out players in the wingman, players that you guys need to keep an eye on. Oscar Bob, he played in the preseason games for us. Absolutely class, fits in like a glove. Cole Palmer, natural position. And then we still have Bernardo and Foden as well who can play there. So I think we're lacking depth. But, you know, to lose Mahrez, big blow.
It might be stupid, but do you reckon you definitely replace him? Because you say that Foden could play there, Bernardo could play there. You've obviously got Cole Palmer, other young lads. Do you think you definitely go and sign someone else to replace him?
If we decide that Palmer and Bernardo and Foden are wingers, and that's where they're going to play, we need to go and get another midfielder. That's the thing. But if we decide, which Pep has been saying, he wants Foden to be a midfielder now, the transition from Foden from wing to midfield has begun, then we need to go and get another winger because we're too light. We're playing in 6 competitions this season. We don't, in my opinion, we don't have a big enough squad. But I mean, I was kind of looking at it on the paper the other day, and there's a lot of players, but you know, quality over quantity. I think Mahrez's goals is a massive loss.
Just a quick question before we wrap up. Are you still on Olise? Is that the one that you wanted to replace him with, or you think Bernardo can do that role in terms of that role? Because I think for me, it still needs. I don't know. Bernardo is good in that role, and he can do a job. But over the course of the season, Pep likes to rotate, and you don't have that rotation necessarily anymore. But anyone that you want to replace, it's still Olise that you want to replace him with.
I like Olise. I mean, Bernardo at right wing is unbelievable. Did you see him against both games against Real Madrid, both games against Bayern Munich? He was arguably the best player on the pitch. He was absolutely insane. So I'm happy there, but maybe another midfielder. There's no name jumps at me that gets the hairs on the back of my on the back of my neck standing up. But I'd understand an Olise because he's young. Pep could coach him, make him a facilitator, maybe get more goals out of him. So I'd understand it. The thing, I always say this to you guys without trying to sound arrogant. There's no reason for me to doubt my board. There's no reason for me to doubt any transfer we make because more often than not, they seem to hit. So whoever we bring in, I'll go, right, what is the vision here? Let's try and work out what the plan is and get behind it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. But yeah, that's some breaking news. Still, Harry Maguire, Man United reject a 20 million bid, man. But let's see, man. Next weekend, the Premier League is. Go on, sorry.
Sorry, just quickly. Could Alvarez play there as well potentially?
We've done
it. Yeah.
We've tried it, and people keep trying to shoehorn Alvarez into the wing, into number 10. Alvarez, his whole thought process constantly is goal, 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 goal. He's a finishing machine. We played him at number 10 when De Bruyne was injured for a while. And in my opinion, he looked like a lost dog. We need to find a way to get him either beside Erling Haaland or I don't know, maybe as a lone striker if Haaland's not around. It's a tough one. I don't think right now he has the technical ability to play as a creative player. Maybe coach him into it over time, but not to be the main man.
Bounce.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Anyway, big up to everybody who's tuned in to the video. Sorry, make sure you like the video, people, man. It's literally doesn't cost you a penny, man. So please hit the like button on the video. Henry, it's been a pleasure, man. Big up to you for coming on as usual, man.
Yeah, big up. Thanks for having me on. Another stream. Just need to get rid of Kane, man. Just need to move on and get on with our lives. But it is what it is. Big up. Thanks for having me on again.
Big up to you, man. Big up to you, Huey. I'll see you later for the Big Six, but big up to you as always, man.
Yeah, man. Big up the chat, big up the panel. Thanks very much for having me on. You can find me on City Extra, and I'm trying to get my personal channel now up to 10K. Just type in HMTV1894. Any support, massively appreciated. Thanks again.
Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Guna Souls, big up to you, man. Stepping in, man. I know Babs is away. You know, he's hitting the high life and whatnot, but big up to you for stepping in, man.
Oh, no, thank you for the opportunity. Obviously, it's time to become champions of England. And yeah, we'll see you guys next season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely, man. Charlie, big up to you, man, as always.
Nah, thank you for having me, mate. Pleasure as always. If you want to check out more of what I do, then just Blue Brother CFC, heading towards 5K. So yeah, any of you want to come and help me on that journey, then please do subscribe. And mate, hopefully next week Caicedo will be a Chelsea player. That would be nice.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. But well, I wouldn't say definitely, because yeah, I don't want him to go there. But like I said, hopefully we'll get some maybe developments on that story. But people, man, it's been a good show, man. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out, man. There's no excuses, man. And we're out. Peace.